Good morning. It's telling me we can chat if we want to. If anybody's out there, if anyone's watching live, feel free to say good morning or say hello. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Asiba. This is Asiba's Place. I am a military spouse and a mom of five, and I offer tips for new military spouses. And today we are talking about budgeting, specifically creating a family budget for a military family, kind of the step by step process that you want to take to make sure that you're not in financial straits. We all know that the military pays service members for housing, they get a stipend for food every month. But if you're not careful or precise with your budgeting, it's very easy to outspend your monthly budget. And you don't want that, especially if you're all dependent on one income, and especially if you have a family with children included. So, just a few tips here. First, you want to assess all of your income as well as your expenses. So, um, service members have what's called their LES, and that shows it's short for leaving and earnings statement, but it also leave and earnings statement, but it also breaks down their pay, and you can see each pay period how much they're given line by line, as well as what deductions they have. And you can use that and calculate your expenses. So what's going out every single month, what subscriptions you have, what your bills are. Do you live on base? Most of the time, if you live on base, then all of your service members' housing allowance is going to be going to that. If you have the option and you choose to live off base, choose housing that is within the housing allowance. If you're wise, try and go below. You really kind of want to live, you want to get as you want to spend as little as possible that's comfortable for your family. So if you have the option and you can save some of that BAH, that's what I recommend. That's just extra money that's not going to be going out. You can put towards savings. So like I said, your subscriptions, your utilities, the things that you do periodically, shopping, whatever hobbies you have that cost money, you really want to annotate every single one of those things and make sure that they're accounted for. That way, you know what's going out every single month and there's no surprises. Also, I'm about to save your marriage here. In the beginning, especially, talk to your spouse before making purchases over $50. Um, I'm going to save you some serious relationship issues. You don't want to have those types of conversations where somebody's looking at the statement, what did you spend $75 on? Like, I was counting on that for so and so. Just always talk to one another before you make large purchases like that. And we've always considered anything over $50 large, just to make sure that you guys are on the same page before anyone is spending large amounts of money. So I also like to, if you're not a pen and paper kind of person, I like the Every Dollar app by Dave Ramsey, and it's really good for just um, writing out or typing out and seeing physically what all your expenses are, and it calculates it for you, like how much you have left over after you've paid your utilities and after you've given your offering at church, and just whatever it is that you want to input, it'll calculate it so you know exactly what you have left over. So next, you want to set your financial goals. I think obviously everybody wants to have money left over after payday. Like, you don't want to get paid and then pay all your money on bills. Well, that would be a goal. If you want to save a significant amount of money, that's a goal. Those are things that you and your spouse need to talk about. Make sure again that you're on the same page and that you're both working towards those goals at all times. And it's also good to do this often. That way you can kind of keep your goals at the top of your mind, because if you don't, it'll be like, yeah, I know we said we had these goals, but I really want this TV, so screw the goals. That's not a good idea. So if you talk about your goals often, talk about them together, like you want to be on the same page, that'll keep your goals at the top of mind, and you'll constantly be working towards that. If your goal is paying down debt, same thing. Make sure it's something that you go over often and that you're always making sure you're on the same page working towards those goals. So next I put create a budget, but that's going to be along the same lines as at the beginning when you see what your expenses versus your income is. Um, just make sure that you're staying within those budgets. Come up with specific numbers that you want to stay within or below, and that's the rule. Like that's written in stone. Try not to make any exceptions. Try not to, oh well, this one time it'll be okay. It's a slippery slope. So once you decide that you're gonna cross that line, you're gonna do it again and again. So make sure that your budget is set in stone and that you stick to it. That way you can work towards meeting those financial goals as a family. Next, you're going to track your spending. Same thing. All of this can be done in the Every Dollar app, and I'm going to link it in the description in case you've never heard of it. It's totally free. It's just really good for getting all that stuff in front of your face, and you can see exactly what you've been spending all your money on. And then you can kind of make changes as needed. So what we've done in the past is decided, you know what, for the next 6 months, we don't need this subscription. Like maybe there's ways that you can cut back on things. There's some luxury things that we kind of like to get every now and again. But in order to see how close we can get to our goals, let's go ahead and set those things aside for a few months. Maybe after a while, you'll decide, you know what, we don't need this at all. We're too happy with all of the money that we're saving. And it's good to make lifestyle sacrifices in order to meet your financial goals. So maybe you're used to getting your nails done every 2 weeks. I'm not. But if that's something that you're willing to put aside in order to save that extra money, maybe you'll decide, like, you know what, I can do my own nails. Or maybe I don't need my nails done in order to have that extra money in our savings for our family. Just something to consider. It's a family thing. So everybody's going to need to cut back here and there in order to meet your goals and just make adjustments as needed. I know I said everything is set in stone. Once you come to your final budget, it should be. But while you're figuring it out, it's okay to kind of give and take and figure out what works for you guys. The goal here is to not be struggling from paycheck to paycheck. The goal here is to live within the income that your service member is bringing in, all of you as a family, and to have money left over so that you're not put in financial straits if there's a tire that blows out or if somebody needs to travel last minute for an emergency. You never know what's going to happen in life. So it's good to have something in your savings account and to be constantly building that up. That way you're not in a tough financial situation. I hope that was helpful. I appreciate you for watching. Again, I'm going to leave some interesting stuff that I think that you'll want to check out in the description. I have a corresponding blog post as always, and you can check that out. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.